Soviet collapse unleashed suppressed ethnic and regional desires into violent North Caucasus warfare. Here's the uncomfortable part. The most important consequences aren't technical, they are social, economic, and irreversible once they start. The conflict that erupted in the North Caucasus during the 1990 was far more than a localized civil war. It represented a profound and violent collision between the lingering, often oppressive, legacy of the Soviet Union and the burgeoning, deeply felt desire for self-determination among its constituent peoples. This struggle unfolded against a backdrop of severely fractured political authority, where centralized control had evaporated, leaving a vacuum filled by competing national, ethnic, and regional aspirations. The events of the decade were not simply a matter of territorial dispute, but a complex geopolitical drama where historical grievances, ideological shifts, and the desperate pursuit of sovereignty ignited into brutal military engagements across the mountainous and diverse landscapes of the region. The fundamental roots of this intense conflict lay in the catastrophic disintegration of the Soviet structure itself. The vast, multi-ethnic federation, once held together by a centralized, albeit often coercive, system based in Moscow, began to unravel rapidly following the collapse of the USSR in 1991. As the unifying force of the Soviet state weakened, the distinct national and regional identities that had been suppressed or subordinated under Soviet rule began to assert themselves with renewed vigor. The North Caucasus, with its unique cultural tapestry, diverse ethnic groups, and complex historical trajectories, became a critical crucible where these competing aspirations for autonomy, independence, and distinct political futures ignited into open warfare. The disintegration of the overarching Soviet framework provided the necessary catalyst, allowing latent tensions related to language, religion, historical injustices, and economic disparity to surface as irreconcilable political demands. The transition from simmering political tension, characterized by simmering ethnic and political grievances, to full-scale, open military conflict was a direct consequence of a series of escalating internal power struggles. Keep one question in mind as we go: who benefits first and who pays the hidden cost? As the central authority of the Russian Federation waned its effective control over the peripheral regions, regional leaders, both ethnic and political, began aggressively asserting their independence. This decentralization created a power vacuum that was immediately filled by competing entities, ranging from nascent separatist movements to various regional administrations, all vying for control over the territory, resources, and political destiny of the North Caucasus. These internal struggles were characterized by shifting alliances, clandestine negotiations, and increasingly violent confrontations, as factions attempted to consolidate power and establish dominance over their respective domains. The subsequent military phase of the conflict involved large-scale, often brutal, maneuvers as these various factions sought to establish and enforce their claims. The fighting was characterized by complex strategic thrusts and counter-thrusts, as organized forces attempted to secure vital territories, control strategic routes, and impose their political will upon the contested lands. These military operations were not merely tactical contests of troop movements. They were existential struggles over the very identity and future of the lands involved. The terrain of the Caucasus, with its rugged mountains, deep valleys, and difficult access routes, heavily influenced the nature of the fighting, often favoring localized guerrilla tactics and protracted engagements over large-scale conventional warfare. Adding further layers of complexity to this internal conflict was the significant intervention of the Russian state itself. Driven by a confluence of complex political, strategic, and security aims, including the desire to maintain territorial integrity, manage ethnic relations, and secure strategic interests, the Russian government became actively involved in the conflict. This intervention, often manifesting through the deployment of various military and security forces, further complicated the situation by drawing in external forces and intensifying the fighting across the entire region. The involvement of external actors introduced new geopolitical dimensions, transforming a regional struggle for self-determination into a wider contest involving broader national and international interests. The military engagements were thus deeply intertwined with the political narrative. The fighting reflected the deep-seated conflict between the imposed, often artificial, boundaries of the Soviet administrative system and the organic, historically rooted identities of the local populations. Each battle, each seized village, and each contested mountain pass became a symbolic representation of the struggle for political legitimacy and the right to define one's own destiny, moving beyond mere territorial control to encompass a fight for cultural and political self-awareness. The ultimate outcome of these protracted and devastating struggles profoundly reshaped the political geography of the North Caucasus. The period left behind a legacy defined not only by the physical scars of war, but also by a complex and often unresolved tapestry of historical and territorial disputes. The boundaries that were once defined by Soviet decree were violently contested, leading to a fragmented political landscape characterized by numerous entities, contested borders, and enduring internal conflicts. The memory of the conflict remains deeply embedded in the cultural consciousness of the region, shaping contemporary political dynamics and social relations. Ultimately, the events of this tumultuous period underscore the profound and enduring impact of political collapse. The disintegration of a monolithic state revealed the volatile nature of identity politics and the deep-seated human desire for sovereignty. The struggle in the North Caucasus serves as a powerful testament to how the failure of centralized authority can unleash powerful forces of self-determination, demonstrating that the pursuit of autonomy and the assertion of a distinct political future are fundamental, often violent, aspects of the human experience. The legacy of the Civil War is a complex narrative of loss, resistance, and the ongoing, unresolved quest for peace and legitimate political order in the region. Now we can finally see the full picture. The promise is real, the risks are real, and the outcome depends on choices we're still making. Soviet borders dissolved, leaving a legacy of contested lands. The struggle reveals how imposed order yields to the fierce pursuit of self-determination.